I have to excuse the redness in my eyes. I guess you can't see it that good with this camera, but Jesus is apparently saving my life. Last time I had this problem, I thought that I had an eye infection starting, so I bled here and here. It's an Chinese medicine technique. And Jesus got a hold of Terence and said, Gail's been injuring herself. Tell her to stop doing this because I've allowed the redness in her eye to save her life. He wouldn't say how he was saving my life, but he said, this is part of what I'm doing to save her life, and she just needs to leave it alone, and it might be a little uncomfortable, but it'll heal on its own. And that's what happened. So I'm not going to worry about this, and I'm going to let it heal on its own. This has been an interesting day. Tom McGovern, the guy who wanted to make a documentary about my life, is starting to move forward with his documentary, and he contacted me on Skype, and I've added him as a Skype contact. And he is interviewed me, and he asked me, well, how did you want the focus of, he's going to make a documentary about me. He's got a degree in film, and he's a very respectful young man. And we actually talked for several hours, me and Terence Jenkins, and he asked me some questions. He said he's going to fly down to Florida probably around October to interview me for the documentary. And I recommended that he read my book in progress, the nonfiction novel that I'm writing right now, which I think is going to be out around Thanksgiving or Christmas. I said, you really ought to read that book because it will give you a real insight into my heart and soul. He said, what do you think should be the thrust of this documentary that I'm making? You know, he said, if you had any wishes, how would you want it to be? I said, try to show my heart and soul. Because whenever I make a video, Jesus said, Gail, don't use a script and just speak from your heart. So Jesus would probably like it if the documentary you made just showed my heart. And I said, if you really want to know my heart, you got to read the book that I'm working on right now. And so I'm allowing some people to read it even though it's not finished because it's just so useful for them to have the information that's in the book. I'm about 4/5 of the way through with the book. So me and Terence and Tom, he's 26 years old, and he told me he studied. I think he has a degree in film, and he's already made several documentaries already, and they've been produced. And so this isn't his first one, but he said this is a work of passion for him. You know, before he did a Kickstarter. He tried to raise a bunch of funds to start. He only got like $600, and he's he has decided he's going to go forward with the documentary. I think he took out a loan and he's doing some other things. But he said he's planning on flying down to Florida to interview me. I said, oh, really? And I said, well, just go ahead and read Forbidden Abyss. It'll answer a lot of questions. And he said, even if I do get my questions answered, I may ask them, even if I know the answer, just to make a nice documentary. I told him, well, kind of make it like show my heart and soul. Maybe make that the focus. He said he wanted it to be primarily about who I am now. And I said, boy, it'd be really cool if you could like get the genes of Catherine the Great and put them next to mine and show the similarity. He said he's going to work with what he can. And I said, what about, do you have any pictures of the Nuukaki that hit Canada? And he said, what's really unfortunate, and Terence was there, is that this Nuukaki that Zack Knight created, it was the semen, the nuclear semen just went all over it. It ruined all the cameras and everything, so that everything got drowned out in semen. So there was no photographic evidence during the attack that anybody had because everything got drowned out with semen. Apparently, Zack Knight made a very clever weapon where he can destroy a whole country and there'll be no evidence of it actually happening because the weapon itself destroys any cameras that could be on. So everybody was so busy scrambling for their life, they didn't worry about taking pictures, though they do have pictures after the Nuukaki hit in Canada. And the only news station, I believe, that was covering the Nuukaki was the Fox News, the Canada Fox News channel. So Zack Knight just knows how to cover up his treachery. But I said, well, I told him, even if you can get after shots, that would be interesting, So he said he's gonna do the best he can. Like I said, excuse my red eyes, but Jesus is saving my life right now. This is what he told me last time. This camera's not really picking it up that much, so if it was a higher resolution, maybe you'd see it more. So we were talking and talking, and then Taran said, Gail, there's this Jesuit, a naked Jesuit guy who's using his penis to attack people, and he's headed towards Tom McGovern. I said, really? He said, yes. He says, I need to go in my, I think they call it like a space pod, and go down there and rescue him before this guy shows up. So Tom said, well, my door is locked, so he can't get in here. And Taran said, it doesn't matter. Zack Knight has given this guy the ability with his penis to knock the door down. I thought, boy, what kind of a penis is this? Like a bomb penis, you know? It's the stuff Zack Knight comes up with. It seems like for the past couple weeks, Zack Knight's strategy has been to throw naked Jesuits out there, and they're beating everybody up with their penises. Zack Knight is such a pervert. Anyway, so this naked guy was headed towards Tom, and we kept talking. And Taran, while we were talking, Taran said, I'm going to have to go rescue him, Gail. So he was on his way down. Apparently, Zack Knight doesn't like it that I've connected with Tom McGovern, because the guy wants to make a documentary about me, and he's pretty good. I mean, he does it. I thought his little teaser, which I have, is like at my YouTube channel, is the opening video for it. I thought he did a really good job. And I said, you did a really good job. I thought it was quite impressive work. Anyways, this Jesuit guy was getting closer and closer. And then finally Taran said, the guy, we actually heard him knocking on Tom McGovern's door. And Tom said, oh my goodness, he's at my, actually that's what me and Taran said. He said, he's at my door. Amazingly, Tom was pretty calm. I said, really? I said, I'm going to shoot lightning bolts at him. Taran said, yeah, try to do that, because I got 5 minutes. I can't get there till about 5 minutes, and this guy could probably break the door down and maybe force Tom McGovern to have sex with him and turn him into a homosexual. Zack Knight's got that power. He did it to my men February 14th when Satan showed up. So I said, Jesus, I know these lightning bolts are reserved for Zack Knight, but I want you to shoot him on this pervert, because I think he's working under Zack Knight's direction. So I went, boom, boom. I said, go get him, Lord, lightning bolts, lightning bolts. And Tom said, I'm seeing flashes of light outside my window. I said, is it affecting the guys? He said, well, it seems like he's holding him back. So I said, more. And I went like this, and I flung him at him. And I said, Lord, aim this one at the penis. Explode his penis so he can't use the penis as a weapon. And from what I understand, the Lord answered my prayer. And that guy's penis exploded. And then Taran said, you know what, Gail, I think you might have saved Tom McGovern's life, because if you hadn't done that, actually Jesus saved his life because he used me as the instrument, that guy might have broken Tom McGovern's door down and attacked him. And who knows what would have happened. So Tom said, he saw flashes of light everywhere, and he smelled something sizzling and burning. So the Lord, I lightning bolted that guy, and I think I exploded his penis too. Because that was his weapon, so I had to destroy it. And then Taran showed up and said, oh my goodness, that guy's burned, man. He sizzled. So I say, thank you, Jesus. You saved him. It was Jesus. He just used me as the sorry instrument. So I had to tell you, we had an interesting time. And from what Taran said, he saw a Jesuit spaceship or something show up and pick him up, and he was really damaged. So apparently Jesus didn't kill him, but he damaged him so that he couldn't hurt Tom McGovern. And I believe his penis exploded. You say, how did the Jesuits deal with that? They've got such advanced technology right now. They could probably rebuild his penis using some sort of computer satellite technology, just like they probably make a clone of it or something and put it on him. That's probably what they're going to do. But I think Zack Knight got hit too, because I said, Lord, I'm hitting him and Zack Knight. Zack Knight Jesus only gives me lightning bolt powers against Zack Knight. So I think the reason this guy got hit is because he was working under Zack Knight's direction. So I'm just pleased. And then what Taran did is he transported Tom McGovern out of his place and brought him up to Church of Gail to safety. And so I just had to tell you, I had an interesting day today. And I said, well, how's he doing? Has he got like post-traumatic stress? And no, I said, he's pretty calm. Apparently he had faith in my lightning bolts. Thank you, Jesus. Jesus knows how to take care of these troublemakers. So I just had to tell you, okay? Anyways, pray for Tom McGovern. I have a feeling he's going to make a really good documentary. And he's going to try to interview not just me, but, maybe other people that he's going to try to get their permission. And he said he's going to try to make, I said, try to make it like a character-driven type of a narrative. Show how I've grown as a person. Because I said, I'm not the same person I was back in the 1990s. I've really grown. And I talked to him a lot about my life and my struggles. And, I have a feeling it's going to be really good. So, Tom McGovern, yeah, I respect his courage. He said, will you autograph Silver Skies when I show up? Oh, I said, I would be honored. He said, you must get tired of people asking to autograph your book. I said, no, my problem is I'm afraid that if I autograph a book, if I start going into selling my book where I have signed copies, that when I send them out, the Jesuits are going to switch them out in the mail with an inferior version. And that's happened in the past with a real early version of Silver Skies that I sold. The Jesuits were switching it out with an inferior manuscript, and the people weren't getting what I wrote. My men are really doing a lot better about keeping that under control now. But I just wanted to tell you, Jesus and me, we lightning bolted that Jesuit. We exploded his penis, and we saved Tom McGovern. Now if I can get this